Continue from last time's introduction point to the next part. This is the last screen that you work, which I explained. So now let's go into a computer system. Okay, a computer system consists of two main areas. One is the hardware. This is the physical parts which you can touch and see. If you take the screen or the keyboard or the mouse or printer or external hard disk or even internal hard disk or anything that you can see and touch, and those are called hardware. Okay, then we have the second part, which is the software. These are the instructions and data that you give the hardware to do something. So these instructions and data are things which you cannot see. So the part that which you can't see are called software. The part which you can see are called the hardware. Okay, then let's take a look at the hardware. Hardware is a physical parts. So let's go into a little bit more detail about hardware. The first part of the hardware, we call it the input device. Input device will be the device, let's see, used for taking instructions and data into the computer. For example, the keyboard, or it could be the mouse, or maybe a scanner, or there can be any type of device that is used to send in information into the computer. So when I say information, it will be generally instructions and data. To send in, these are the places through which you send, which is the input device. Next, we have the processing unit. This unit understands instructions. Okay, these instructions are built into the processor by the manufacturer. It will understand only those instructions. That means this is the part which is the mandatory part in the computer, because if without this you will not be able to give any instruction to a computer, because the computer will not be able to do them. So this is the part that will can take in instruction or listen to instructions and do them. So these instructions are built in and kept inside this processing unit by the manufacturer at the manufacturing time. And for example, you say the manufacturer has put in 100 instructions into the processing unit and built it. So then this processing unit will only understand those instructions. Processing unit is not a magical thing like a human being which can suddenly understand new things. Whatever the processing unit is built and the instruction set is given, those are the instruction set the processing unit can understand. Then we have the output device. Output device, like the input device taking in instruction and data, the processing unit will do those instructions and whatever it will be executed or processed or done by the processing unit, then the results have to be shown somewhere, right? So that is the part which is the output device. So output device is used for showing results from the computer to the outside world. So it can be anything: screen, again printer, I don't know, maybe other things as well. As we go on, I think it will become more understandable. Then the next component, the physical component, is the hardware component, is the memory and storage. So memory and storage, you must have seen memory boards and chips and whatever. These are the ones that is in the computer. This is the place where instructions and data to a computer is kept. So when instructions and data are given into the computer, okay, using the input device, the data and instructions does not directly go to the processing unit, and the processing unit has no capability to keep all of them. So the unit that keeps this information recorded until the processing unit takes over and does one by one is the main storage. So main storage is a place where when you enter information and data, instructions and data into the computer through input device, it goes into the main storage, which is a part of the hardware. From here only, the processing unit will pick one instruction at a time and do it. So the processing unit is the one who is going to do the instruction, but main storage is the place where these instruction sets are kept. And the processing unit will take one by one and do them. Okay, processing unit can only work from this memory. This I will talk about the next memory in the next step. A processing unit has the ability only to work with the main memory. So any instruction and data given must be there in the main storage for the processing unit to take it one at a time and do it. So, right? When there is the only problem in the main memory is when there is no electricity, it's lost. Everything is lost. So next time you switch on the computer, again you'll have to put those instructions and data back into the main memory through the input device. Otherwise, there is nothing for the processing unit to work with. Okay, so the last one is the memory, secondary memory or storage. This obviously you have an idea like the hard disk, even say pen drives or anything like that is considered as a secondary storage. This is the place where instructions and data are kept when there is no electricity. So, as you know, the main memory cannot keep information when there is no power. What we do is we put it there when the processor needs to do those instructions, and for later use, we save it in the secondary storage because the secondary storage has the capability to keep it even there when there is no electricity. You know that, right? When you record a song or movie or any data or document or Excel sheet or whatever in your hard disk, even when you switch off the computer, it's still there. So that is the secondary storage. So that is where we keep it for later use. But the problem is processing unit cannot work directly from this memory. So when the processing unit needs to work with some instructions and data, it has to be first loaded to the main memory. So that is why we call this secondary memory. Main storage is the place the processing unit can work with. Secondary storage is used to keep those stored so that it does not get lost. Because main storage cannot keep those information when there is no electricity, right? So this is how input device, processing unit, output device, main storage and secondary storage work in a computer system. So these are the four main components that must be there in a computer system to work with. And these are hardware. These are not software. Software is the next part we will be covering. So I hope this video clarifies this